Why come up with a new fresh idea when you can capitalize on people's childhoods? Spyro the Dragon's been through a lot, starting off very strong. So strong, in fact, that it was its console's mascot next to Crash Bandicoot. But since Insomniac has moved on to better things, fucking bullshit Resistance, Spyro's been barely keeping his head above water. And then in 2011, Activision pulled off the most genius robbery. Using a character that appealed to old gamers, a game that appealed to parents, a premise that appealed to children, and single-handedly started the NFC figure fad that surely left hundreds broke, living on the streets under a fort made of gold Mario amiibo. Now here's the deal. You buy a $70 starter pack that comes with the Portal and 3 figures. You place a figure on the base and it becomes your playable character, with levels, attacks, a nickname, and even a hat specific to your figure. And switching characters is as easy as removing one figure and replacing it with another. $70 is too much, and having extra hardware is annoying, but physically owning a figure that you can play with is really cool. It makes it feel personalized, and we all know how well game connecting figures are doing now. I've gotta say, these figures are nice. They're beautifully detailed, painted, and in really cool poses. Well, most of them. However, in-game there are secret areas that you need certain elements in order to access, so you need to buy more figures. Their cash grab game is so strong. Did I unlock a commercial? The story's pretty cookie cutter. There are good guys, and then a bad guy comes and turns everyone to toys, except for that guy.
And Master Eon? He survived the blast, but was changed. He became a spirit.
He dies. And now it's your job to rebuild that and defeat Chaos once and for all. Now it's time to team up with such memorable characters as Floating Head, The Asshole, Skeleton, Wood, Vibratron, Snuckles.
Name Snuckles! I'd rather flex my muscles.
Moneybags, and Chatterjaw McPlease-Stop, on a quest to get your mom to buy all the toys. The game is very linear. You're just finding all the eternal element sources to rebuild this. And they're all like, do you got one? Help me find my body. And then you do it, and then there's a boss fight, and then you get one. 8 times. This game is clearly for children. It's very easy, straightforward, and full of, I want to call it weeb humor. Is that offensive? Let's call it immature. And I hope you're into it because you can't skip the cutscenes. The game plays almost like a dungeon crawler beat-em-up hybrid, with a semi-overhead camera and a make-everything-dead mentality. The combat is based on a 3-button system with no jump. 4 buttons on the controller, 3 of them used. No jump. They chose this. Instead, they opted to have designated jumping spots with vibrating anus-shaped launch pads. Now, each character has unique attacks that I'm going to categorize right here. You ready? There are short-range or melee attacks like punches that hit right in front of you. There are medium-range attacks like Flame Breath that have a bit of range on them, typically with a decrease in damage. Long-range or projectile attacks like eye lasers that hit as far as the eye can see, but usually do significantly less damage. And then there are slides, glides, and charges that move your character as an attack, usually moving faster than your run speed and will surely replace your run as your main method of movement. Each character also has one soul gem hidden within the game that unlocks an attack or ability for that character, like regaining health within water or an increased defense. As you progress through the game and defeat enemies, you gain experience, which levels you up and increases your stats. You find money, which is used to buy your 3rd attack and upgrade all 3. Each character's abilities can be upgraded in a branching path. The choices you make will decide which attacks become stronger. For example, Terrafin can choose to specify more on his punches and belly flops, or he can work more on his tunneling and feeding frenzy. Choose carefully because there's no going back. Now, visually it's pretty okay. Why is he so greasy? Each group of levels is a new area, but there's nothing crazy. Castle, volcano, tomb. I mean, they did nothing wrong, but there's nothing over the top. Nothing very noteworthy. And the music's pretty forgettable. Now this is the part where I hate on a game made for children. Ew, they didn't even bother texturing his neck. The first thing I noticed is that every level has 2 secret areas that require a different elemental character to enter. And there are 4 levels that can only be entered by buying the 4 combo packs that come with the figures for those levels. So in order to 100% this game, you have to first buy it at $70, grab all 4 combo packs at $20 each, and grab the 2 remaining elements you need individually at $7 each, making your total sum $164, plus tax, just to complete it 100%. At least DLC you can buy while sitting on your ass. And these figures have only gotten rarer and more expensive since 2011. And I'd like to mention, Sunburn was a character that came with the extra level, Dragon's Peak. And with these bundled characters, they hide their soul gem within their level. I bought him used and by himself, so unless I take a trip down eBay lane, I can't upgrade him completely. And it's just not worth it. Why would I play a character that I can't upgrade fully? It's a shame, he's a cool looking character. It's like in Pokemon, if Venusaur level capped at level 80, no one would pick him. So nothing would change. Bad example. A big draw I found to this game was that it's 2-player co-op. I am a couch co-op enthusiast. It says so on my DeviantArt. It's perfect if you want to play this game with your kid. I figured that was the intention, right? But it comes off as an afterthought. All the money and experience is first come first serve. It doesn't even matter who makes the kill, as long as you're closer, you'll grab the experience. In single player, range is king. Drobot absolutely easy modes the game. But in multiplayer, nothing matters as long as you outspeed your partner. Some characters don't even get a run. Camo is virtually unusable in multiplayer. And there are challenge modes and tilt puzzles that are only playable by player 1. And button puzzles that player 2 has to pussyfoot around because pressing the same button twice will fuck up all your progress. And none of the cutscenes refer to 2 characters. And both characters are tethered together, so it's super easy to glitch out the game or get stuck in a death loop. They obviously didn't test it too far. Even in multiplayer, maxing out a character doesn't take half the game. And starting a level 1 character at that point is tough due to the difficulty ramp. I'm assuming you're intended to either jump around all your characters equally throughout your playthrough, or just pick a single character and stick with it well after it's maxed out. Now, this game was released on Wii, PS3, Xbox 360, and 3DS. From what I've seen, they're all identical except for the 3DS port. We've seen this before though. They release the full game on the home console, then give you a really dumbed down version to play on the go. Yeah, you wouldn't guess that the portable port of this game is far superior. That almost never happens. It's completely different in visual look, gameplay, and even story and characters. If it didn't use the same fucking figures, I'd have guessed it was a whole different game. This one, instead of Chaos destroying a thing, a whole different enemy, Hector, is here to kidnap the elemental elders, and you're left with this nerd to guide you through the game. But the biggest difference has to be the gameplay. This one's actually a platformer, with slightly different character mechanics, and every character has a run. And instead of collecting experience and money to buy attacks, you collect Radiance, which goes towards leveling up, and you get new moves naturally while you level. Seeing as Floating Head is already a floating head, I'd almost go as far as saying the 3DS game is a direct sequel to the console port. But who the fuck are these elders? Where were they? And why do the inhabitants look so different in this one? It's like a completely different style. Now here's the moment of truth. Is it good? On 3DS? Yes. On console? Yes. As long as you're 10. And if you don't care about 100%ing it, or you've got buddies who you can lend figures around with, then you'll have a good time. And the figures are very collectible, as they're not overly expensive, and they look really nice. I've got myself a small collection of 9 figures. I basically grab my favorites. Hey, thanks for watching, and a super special thanks to Syd Bolton, owner and founder of the Personal Computer Museum in Brantford, Ontario, for lending me the 360 port of the game. I bought the good one. I'll post a link to his website in the description, and if you like my video, check out my other ones, or follow me on Twitter or Facebook for updates on what I'm up to. Have you played Skylanders before? What's your favorite figure? And if you have any suggestions for games you'd like me to try, let me know in the comments. Suggestions are always helpful. I'm not going to turn down free help.
I agree, Callie.